Hello JHS students, teachers, and parents. This is Mr. Peacock coming at you from our awesome cafeteria. And I wanted to give you a few announcements about some things that are coming up at JHS in the next few weeks. The first thing I want to talk about is something very, very important, and that is lunches at JHS. Now, for the first 3 weeks of school, lunch has been phenomenal here at the high school. But the lunches are still a little too crowded. So beginning on Wednesday, September 9th, we will be moving to a 3-lunch schedule here at JHS. A lunch, B lunch, and C lunch. This is a new thing. It's a very big deal. And the major reason, parents and students, is because we need to limit the amount of children in our cafeteria. Lunch has been going great, but as fall gets underway and COVID-19 becomes even more of a risk to spread in our community, we need to limit the amount of students that we have eating together. So we will start the 3-lunch A, B, C schedule on Wednesday, September 9th, which also happens to be Picture Day at JHS. So students, make sure you come to school, you look sharp, and you're ready to go for Picture Day in the JHS auditorium on Wednesday, September 9th. Students, the way you will find out about the 3-lunch schedule is on Wednesday. When you go to your first period class, you will receive a new copy of your gold schedule. Your schedule will be the same. You will just be getting a new copy of it. And on the back side of that schedule will be 3 different roadmaps. It will tell you exactly what to do if you have A lunch, exactly what you do if you have B lunch, and exactly what to do if you have C lunch. Now, how do you know which lunch you have? Whether you look at the hard copy, that gold piece of paper on Wednesday morning, or if you look in Skyward tomorrow or Tuesday, what you will see, the lunch you have is next to your 5th period class. So if you have an A next to 5th period, that's A lunch. If you have a B, that's B lunch. And if you have a C next to your 5th period class, that's obviously C lunch. So you will get that new copy, that new gold copy on Wednesday morning in your first period class. Last thing to mention about lunch, guys, is that B lunch will be segmented. So if you have B lunch, you will go to class, and then you will eat lunch, and then you will go back to class. So very important, students, that you remember you're back to class on time for that second part of the 5th period once you eat lunch. That's only the case with B lunch students and B lunch teachers. Next thing I want to talk about is something very, very important. The window to switch from in-person learning to remote learning starts on Tuesday. So it will be all next week. Remember, we're off on Labor Day, Monday, September 7th. It's a holiday. But the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, if you are an in-person learner and you want to switch to learning remotely, you can do that during that window. Now, here's the main thing you have to do, students. You have to pick up a form from Miss Jan Weeks' office. Miss Weeks is our awesome registrar. Her office is in the counseling suite up in the main office. You need to fill out that form, have your parents sign it, bring it back before we can move you to the remote learning platform. Now, students, if you are a remote learner that wants to come back to in-person, you just need to let us know and we can get that going pretty immediately. We've done that for several students in the last few weeks. Once again, the window to go from in-person to remote is this coming week, September 9th through 8th through the 11th. Make sure you get that form in Miss Weeks' office. Next thing I want to talk about, guys, about reminders for remote learners. If you are a remote learner, students, make sure you are completing each assignment every single day. It's very important that you complete your work so you don't fall behind. So if you are a remote learner, make sure you're logging on to Microsoft Teams every day for every one of your classes and completing your assignments every single day. That is so very important for all of our students, especially our remote students this year. Next thing I want to remind you guys about, the 3 criteria for attendance. If you are a remote learner, you have to do one of these three things, and we've mentioned this before. You have to complete your assignments, which is the preferred way to be in attendance. You have to communicate with your teacher through Microsoft Teams or email, or you have to make progress on your assignment. Just because you're a remote learner does not mean you get marked present. You have to do one of those three things, and that's a very, very big deal. Now, when you look at your attendance in Skyward, if you're a remote learner, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, if you're in attendance as a remote learner, you'll see a little @ symbol. That's a good thing. If you're a remote learner that's being marked absent, which means you have not met one of those three criteria, you will see a big capital A that stands for absent. So remote learners, make sure you're doing your work every day and make sure you are meeting those standards to be marked present by your teachers if you are a remote learner. Next thing I want to talk about real quick, guys, if you are a remote learner and you have co-curricular classes, we've talked several times over the last few weeks about what that means. Please make absolutely sure if you're a remote learner that has co-curricular classes that you are coming in person to those classes. If you are a remote learner who is not showing up in person on campus to those co-curricular classes, you are going to get marked absent for those co-curricular classes. So make sure you're on time and here on campus for those co-curricular courses that you have. Finally, guys, I want to talk about something very, very important that's new. It's called the remote instruction period. We are trying to help our teachers as much as we can. Remember, our fantastic JHS teachers are not only responsible for in-person learning, they're also responsible for remote learning. They've been doing an absolutely phenomenal job. They're very busy. There's a lot going on with everybody, and especially our teachers. So in order to help our teachers plan for their remote learning, we are starting something very new here at Jacksonville High School. It's never been done before that we're very excited about. Beginning on Monday, September 14th, and going until the end of this fall semester, and every week in the spring semester, each Monday, beginning on Monday, September 14th, we will have early release at Jacksonville High School. This is called remote instruction period. So our students will be dismissed from school at 3:20, and our teachers will have an hour to plan even better remote learning lesson plans than we currently have. So it's a very, very big deal for our teachers, a very, very big deal for our remote learners. So parents, students, if you're listening out there, beginning on Monday, September 14th, we will start one day a week, each Monday per week, we will release our students at 3:20. Now, parents, you can pick your kids up at that time. Walkers can walk home at that time. Our bus riders will be in the cafeteria where I am right now, and they will be monitored until the buses come. But if you are a bus rider, you'll be waiting in the cafeteria for about an hour until the last bus arrives. It'll be very much like a final exam schedule. So we're very excited about the remote instruction planning period, and we're happy that we give that time to our teachers to plan for their remote learning assignments. We do have the minutes in our schedule because we're going longer this year. We have the minutes to do that, and it's something that's very, very important for our awesome Jacksonville High School teachers. Finally, I want to remind everybody to watch any of the videos we've sent out over the last few weeks. They're available on Facebook. Students, we've also emailed you all of those. Please reference these videos so you'll know and be up to date on what to do and what's going on at Jacksonville High School. Finally, I want to end by giving a huge shout out to our students and our parents and all of our JHS staff members for a very busy but a very awesome first 3 weeks of the 2020-2021 school year. Have a great week, everybody. We'll be in touch. Thanks.